Hey guys, Boris Schlossberg from BKT. It's a review of our trades for the week of 414 through 418. This was tax week in the United States, so I think perhaps it's very apropos. The level of frustration everybody felt was probably the same as the level of frustration everybody felt in the currency market when the euro failed at 160 this week. But be that as it may, we actually had a great week of trading. We banked about 192 points in our trades, and the majority of them came from this one euro trade that we did at the beginning of the week, where we actually took advantage of the whole vortex of momentum that was happening on the run towards 160. So let's take a look at this trade in a little more detail. But before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. Let me tell you what's going on. For the next 2 weeks I'm traveling. I'll be in Bahrain at the Middle East show, and then I'll be in the Hong Kong office. So if any of you are in the Middle East or in Hong Kong, please come visit me. I'd love to see you guys there. But next week I will not be doing week reviews, but I will have a very, very special and I think a very interesting update on my OO strategy that I'm going to share with you in a new YouTube video. For those of you who haven't seen it, just simply go on YouTube and look for Stop Hunting with the Big Players video. I'm going to have an update on this version that I think is much better, much more robust, much more profitable. So I will save that for next week as a special treat for anybody who comes in to visit us then. In the meantime, let's take a look at what happened this week in the euro dollar and how we traded it. We traded euro dollar to the long side. Basically, I think it was on the 15th of April, tax day, as a matter of fact. Came in on the close of New York day. By the way, one other thing that people ask me all the time is, why is it that we always release our signals at 1700 EST, which is pretty much right here, somewhere around here. Why is it around 5 o'clock in New York time do we do this? And there are two reasons. Number one, the convention is that the Forex day closes at 5 o'clock New York time and then reopens for a new day at 5:01. So you can take a look at daily candles that way and just see how the formations go. That's one reason why we like to usually try to trade it at that point. But the other reason is really just much more pragmatic, because we have subscribers all across the world, from Middle East to Latin America, to London, to Europe, to Hong Kong, to everywhere you can possibly imagine. 5 o'clock New York time is generally the one time across the world where everybody is awake. Some people in Australia and New Zealand are just waking up, other people are going to bed, and finally, in New York, a lot of people are just ending their workday. So because the fact that most people are awake at this time and have a chance to process the idea and enter usually at a very quiet time, as you can see right over here during the Asian session, we like to issue our alerts at that time, and that's really the only reason why we do it for this particular situation. So, anyways, we get long the euro dollar here for several reasons. One, we thought that the inflation numbers out of the eurozone were going to be hot, and remember, the only thing the ECB really watches is inflation. So, if there was hotter than expected inflation, there was a good chance that the euro was going to rally based on the idea that the ECB was going to stay hawkish. And that's basically what happened. We got long into the move, and it stayed relatively quiet for most of the time. We took our first profits at plus 30, 58.18, because we got long at around 57.88. So we got long right around here. I'm sorry, I'm just pushing this around. We took short profits, and this is one of the new things that we're starting to do, which is to simply put our T1 position at plus 30 and let it automatically hit. This way, for those people who are asleep, they can essentially know that if the target has been hit, they don't have to manage it, it's done, and then they can just move to break even. But more importantly, once I did move to break even, I held my stop for a very long time before moving it up. And the reason why is because this is exactly what we're expecting. We were expecting a possible big burst if things went our way. And as things went our way, I allowed the price action to kind of develop. So I kept the stop at break even, like right around here, for a long time, and really pressed the profit. The net result was that as the night progressed and as a price action went our way, I took our profits pretty much 20 points from T2, and we banked 162 points on this one single trade by just letting it run. It's a perfect example of that. Once you're in the money on T1, you try to let the other tail of it really go, because that's where your big profits can lie. It's a good example of pressing a trade, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Boris Schlossberg from BKT. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, next week, watch for an update of the OO setup right on this channel. Same bat channel, same bat station. Boris Schlossberg, BKT. Over and out.